Hello and welcome to our Hothouze podcast. Today we are talking about the effects that social media can have on today's generation. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Kira.
And I'm Brittany.
So, how do you feel that the access to social media has affected the younger generation today? Just in terms of like appearance and also how your parents handled it. How do you feel about it?
Well, growing up, my parents were quite strict. Now looking back, I'm very grateful that they were as strict when it came to social media, because they kind of had a control over the content that I would consume and the amount of time that I would spend online. I just fear for young people today that there's too much freedom, and you know, I was lucky enough, my generation, whenever I was in primary school, there was no social media. Social media was kind of part of my life more when I was in secondary school. But yeah, there's a huge emphasis around body image and peer pressure of, you know, posting certain pictures online, and just there's a lot of negative consequences of that, you know, on like your mental health and things.
I do feel like there's a huge trend right now of like 9 to 12 year olds that's like doing like copying influencers, copying stuff, like they're doing like anti-aging skincare, they're doing like really mature sort of makeup and stuff that just it's not really for them. There's no need for the 9 to 12 year olds doing that kind of like makeup, doing that kind of skincare.
I fear that that's going to have negative consequences down the line. And then I agree with what you're saying, but I feel that's probably because of the people that they're looking up to on maybe TikTok or on Instagram or wherever, the get ready with me videos and things. They need to remember that routine that they're posting online with makeup and things is the content creator's routine, not theirs personally. So yeah,
I feel different to you, Kira. See, like whenever I was younger, I had too much access to social media. My parents had no restrictions or anything on it, so it meant we were just looking up everything and watching all sorts. But the generation nowadays, I feel like they just have such an outlook and like this perfect body image and stuff as well, with everything being posted on social media. It's just...
Do you feel that had a positive or negative effect on you?
I feel like it was very negative, because like now, like I don't know if anyone else, but like fan pages and stuff, it's just like proper haunting now, because
One
you have to like
Direction.
yeah, literally.
Yeah. Oh God, I agree with you.
I also feel like the thing is with freedom and all, like also parents put their wains on social media at a very young age. Like it might not just be a 9-year-old deciding to be on TikTok, deciding to be on YouTube. It could be something that parents actually impact and have want for their...
I think parents need to realise as well that there's an age restriction on these apps for a reason, and there's things that we just can't control. So the things we can control though is allowing our kids on these apps from such a young age. You know, if we increase the age limit, maybe don't allow them to have it till maybe they're 15 or something like that. But I understand that it's very difficult whenever you're in school and all your friends around you have social media and you're the only one that doesn't. That can open yourself up to other issues. But I think I would rather that than the body image, kind of the lack of confidence that I have now within myself as a result of consuming too much content online.
Do you feel like your access to social media has changed your view on the like reality? Like, do you think that has an effect for you?
I do 100%, because I know myself. So in the summer I was in America. I spent 3 months there working at a summer camp, and I'm grateful that, you know, only for social media I wouldn't have had that opportunity to do that. But the issue was that I had this idealised version of what America looked like as a result of the movies and the TikToks and the things that I was watching before I went out there. And whenever I went to New York or I went to Chicago and went to the summer camp, you know, it didn't live up to the expectations that I had in my head, and that can negatively then impact my way of seeing around the world, you know, which is kind of frustrating. But at the same time, you have to be open when you're using social media. You need to be able to look at things in a deeper level and outside the box, and not just take what you see online as face value. Read in deeper, find out other information from other websites and other sources, and go and speak to people face to face that you know have been to these places or are doing these sort of jobs and stuff, and just go beyond looking online.
The thing with like places like America and all, it's like you see it on TV and like you're like, oh, that's what it's like, that's where it's been. But I feel like if you take somewhere like here and you see somewhere that you've been, like you see Derry or you see like Dublin or somewhere on TV being like really idolised, and you've actually lived there and you've actually experienced it, it's just a different view of like, well, I've never been there.
100%, but also I agree that it's, you know, your environment has an impact and influences the way you think and the way you see things.
I feel like whenever people post it on social media, but they make the places look so much like nicer, and then whenever you go, it's like just a completely different outlook on it.
Again, like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
they choose like the best day to film,
Yeah.
which is those guys. What's that, like once a year?
It's raining here constantly.
Yeah, so yeah, but
it's
of course,
really like, sunny.
100%. Yeah, it's interesting.
What do you think that there's a different generational experience between, like, say millennials, us, and then the ones below us? Do you think we're all having a different generational experience with social media?
Personally, I feel yeah, because like my mum, I know, and my dad, they didn't get their first mobile phone till like their wedding day, you know, and of course like the internet was only kind of coming about around that stage. And then my own personal experience is very different to my younger cousins, you know. I just worry, like looking at my cousins, some of them are genuinely, they're iPad kids. They can't hold a conversation, they can't look me in the eye when I'm having a conversation with them, and then I just worry for how that's going to transpire into their future and their careers and their way of socialising.
Like we were given social media like from a very young age, but we weren't given it in like the terms of the attention span, because we would have longer videos to watch. We'd have longer videos, which isn't great, but now it's like these really, really short TikToks, and you can only have to hold attention for like 30 seconds. Well, if it was YouTube, it would be like 5 to 10 minutes. But no, it's just like so quickly, and the advertisements that can happen within those like couple seconds is absolutely mad, and you're being influenced.
100%, yeah.
I feel like compared to like younger generations now, like we are the last generation that's gonna have like physical images and stuff. Like everyone else now, it's all like pictures on mobile phones and stuff.
Yeah, like I take so much pride and joy in looking back at my baby album, but it's really funny because my mum spent so much time making sure that my older sister and myself had the baby album. But if you look now for my little sister, she doesn't have
That's
one.
always the
It's
way.
so funny, like, but yeah, that was because like we're getting closer to like, you know, she's photos on her phone and things like that too. So it's just a different world we're living in right now.
I do worry about like the younger generation because of how many of their baby photos and how much of their childhood growing up is going to be put online and going to be put like for everyone to see. Like you're going into a class and like you can actually just see the most personal like family pictures of like anyone in your class or anyone.
But it's really interesting because I know I consumed a lot of YouTube. In terms of movies and things, I didn't watch too many of those. I just sat and watched so much YouTube growing up, and you know, that has kind of influenced the way that I will parent and that I look at life. And you know, I feel like I was a part of these vloggers on YouTube's family at some stage, you know, and like watching that family grow on YouTube over time and the children that they have raised in that period of time, watching that now and hearing those kids maybe not being so happy that they were on YouTube from such a young age. They didn't consent, like they were brought up, that was their parents' job, so their parents were documenting their lives, you know, and I just fear that maybe that's not all that it's cracked up to be.
When I was younger, like I never really liked, like personally, like I never took a lot of interest in family vloggers or in like those reality kind of pranking YouTubers. I always kind of liked the like unboxing or the makeup or tutorial.
Yeah.
But like whenever you're younger, you don't like you don't actually, I didn't know the impact of it. I just didn't like it. It wasn't.
This is the thing, you're just soaking this all up and you don't realise the effect that it's going to have. You know, that's what's worrying. But yeah.
There's a lot of like family vloggers that are coming out just horrible, and it's just going to have effect on the Wayne's life longer time.
Yeah.
With, is it 8 passengers? There's a big thing with the mum at the minute, and how she was treating her children, and like they were being filmed at all times, like 24/7.
True.
It's cruel. It really is.
Do you feel that there is actually positive impacts of social media? I know we've talked about the negative, but do you feel there's positive for us and for the younger generation?
Yeah, there definitely is positives. There's positives in the sense that there's such a wide variety of information out there.
Connection, yeah.
And there's like a connection to a whole different world that I believe I would not have known about if I didn't have social media. So in terms of like having family all around the world, or like if you're setting up your own business and stuff, there's so many ways now to get your business name out there, to grow your business, resources to try and develop ideas and things. But also with Google and with TikTok and things, there's other ways and means of asking questions that maybe we'd be too scared to ask a human being. Those awkward questions, those questions that you don't want to ask because you've already asked someone already, and things with school, you know, it's great to be able to learn things from online as well and like, get job opportunities.
I do feel like you can get a lot of educational information, like personally, like just like GCSE math was a little bit of a struggle. If I asked a question to teacher one too many times, I still didn't get it, I would go to YouTube, try figure something out myself.
Exactly.
But with the businesses, like you said, I do think you're reaching such a larger audience and you're able to grow a business that you want. But I also feel there's a negative impact of like you just have like a hobby and it's being pushed to be a business. You can't just be an artist because you have to make money off it. It can't just be for your own enjoyment.
But I think that's where your responsibility, your personal responsibility, that is like that's your own control, how you look at that, you know. And I think you have to be responsible to be able to know, right, I need to take a step back here. It's my life, I'm in control here, not the person that's pushing this video or promoting this video, you know. It's my business, and it's, if I want to make it a business I can, or if it's just a hobby, then
such a big positive as well is like whenever you have relations all over the world with stuff is like FaceTime, like being able to contact all of them. But like years back you wouldn't have had that. It would have been like through letters and stuff, but now you're able to physically see them and talk to them, and it just makes it a lot more easier.
Yeah, I agree. And even in terms of how we consume our news as well, from all over the world, we can learn like what's going on in the global affairs all in any part of the world, which is great. But yeah.
Do you feel like we consume different sorts of media in different ways than the other generations?
Yeah, I really do. I just feel that from myself personally, and from speaking to other young people, the days of sitting down and watching the news at 6 o'clock or at 9 o'clock, those days are kind of gone now for our generation, for some of us anyway, because we consume the news and, you know, other media content from all around the world through TikTok and through Instagram and through other social media platforms. And, you know, I would never go now and buy a newspaper or anything like that, because I can get access to all of that online on a website for free most of the time. So that's really beneficial. But the only thing that comes with that is it's important for us just to research into both sides of the argument and both sides of that news, that we're not just taking this information and taking it as gospel or quoting exactly from this one media outlet, because that's the issue with social media. We can't just believe everything we read. We need to do a lot of our own research into what we see online.
Not like spreading misinformation about things.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Thank you for watching our Hothouze production on the social media impact. Thank you.